Now on Talking Solutions, we are honored to have Spencer Stewart, Chancellor from WGU Nevada. Love having you here.
Terry, I love being here. Thanks so much for having me on.
I am such a big fan of WGU Nevada. I was just talking to our high school intern. She's still got a year of school left, but she is looking into how much it's going to cost her to go to college after she gets out of school. And wide-eyed, wow, this costs a lot. I told her, you don't know about WGU Nevada. They are so much less expensive than any other schools.
Cost is becoming a major factor for individuals like Alex across this country. It has risen to the top of one's consideration set as they look at where to attend college. And I'm quite proud to belong to a university that has cost reduction and making sure that our graduates leave with a degree with as little debt as possible, a driving principle of this university. And for that reason, WGU and WGU Nevada have managed to keep tuition very, very modest over the last 10 to 15 years. And I think one of the reasons for that, Terry, is this interesting pricing arrangement that we have with our tuition model. Individuals are able to pay a flat fee for a term, and they can take as many courses as they can get through during that period of time. So it really has this inherent internal motivating factor for students to attempt to complete their program as quickly as they can and to get out into the workforce.
Spencer Stewart, Chancellor for WGU Nevada, from what you've told us in the past, for a 4-year program, it doesn't take your students 4 years to get it done.
That's right. The average time for a 4-year degree with our students is just under 3 years. And this has been a proof of concept that has been tested out over the last 20 years since the university was founded in the late 90s. And we're pleased to see more and more institutions across the country seriously considering applying this type of model for their own practices. It makes a lot of sense for students, and when you put students first, success follows.
Boy, there's been a lot of success. WGU, you mentioned too, nationally, they've been around for 20 years-ish, but as far as being here in Nevada, just a few years.
Just a few years. In fact, this would have been the middle of 2015 with the leadership of Governor Sandoval and his team. WGU Nevada was established to give Nevadans an additional opportunity for an affordable 4-year program or a graduate program. I'm pleased to report, Terry, that the success to date has been just short of astounding. In fact, the first week in June, WGU Nevada hosted a regional commencement in Las Vegas at the Thomas and Mack. And this has been the university's best attended commencement to date. And we have found that with students across the country, many of them work very diligently towards their graduation. They want to participate in the ceremony. But many of our students have families and other obligations, and so they turn this into a twofer. One, I'm going to participate in graduation, but two, I want to turn this into a vacation as well because I have my family with me. So at our regional commencement here, we had over 1,500 graduates from across the country participating. Many of them are Nevada students. It was wonderful because at our morning session, Governor Sandoval gave a keynote address, and he was able to provide a Nevada perspective for many of our graduates from across the country. But the success to date has been wonderful.
And Governor Sandoval, I give him all the credit for bringing WGU Nevada here. And if memory serves, he had been on a national board for the school, saw the need here in Nevada, got the wheels in motion, and the success of the school. I think Governor Sandoval across the board, not just with college, but also with lower grades, I think he's going to go down as a very education-oriented governor in his legacy.
Absolutely, and rightly deserved, because he's been a governor at the forefront of attempting to marry this divide that's existed between between education and the workforce. And no longer can there be a divide in this rapidly changing economy. You do need an educated workforce for a region to thrive and to develop and to innovate and to, in our case, to diversify in Nevada. He has really moved that agenda forward.
We're talking with Spencer Stewart, the Chancellor of WGU Nevada. The courses of study that you offer through the school are the best employment opportunities out there. Education, nursing, IT, business management, all areas where there are a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunity.
As a private nonprofit institution, we look where industries are going because we want to make sure the students that graduate from a particular program are employable and marketable. And the 4 academic colleges that we have are very well aligned with where Nevada's economy should go or could go. Over the last year, we've developed new programs, Terry, some in data analytics, a fairly new field, I think has great application here in Nevada with some of not just the larger employers, but also the mid and small size employers as big data becomes much more accessible and understanding how to leverage it in order to grow one's business, in order to support decision making becomes that much more critical. We've also recently launched a new bachelor's degree in computer science, and this is just over the last 2 or 3 months. And to date, we've seen really strong demand for this program. And that's not a surprise because in this new economy, having the foundational knowledge of programming is fundamental, not just for the field of IT, but there's great application across industries. We've seen really strong growth in these areas.
It's WGU Nevada, all online. You've got students everywhere.
That's right. We have students in every one of Nevada's 17 counties. To date, we have roughly 3,300 students. When WGU Nevada was launched, it was less than a third of that. And within this 3-year period, Terry, we've graduated over 1,400 students. Quite remarkable. And I think we've partnered very well and very closely with the Nevada system of higher education. Many of the students that come to us are transfer students having attended one of the 7 fine NSHE teaching institutions. Once again, it serves as another opportunity for working adults that are incredibly busy, where perhaps the traditional brick and mortar educational venue just does not align with their busy work.
Their life, their schedule,
life,
it
right.
just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Spencer Stewart with WGU Nevada. We talked, I know, in the past about the commercials. Just saw another one the other day featuring my 2 favorite owls, and it was talking about national honors for educational programs through WGU Nevada. They've achieved the highest possible level of recognition.
We have, and we're quite proud of it. There are a number of national organizations and associations that vet teacher preparation programs, both standard brick and mortar programs as well as online programs. And for the last several years, WGU's teacher preparation programs have been one of the most highly ranked programs in the country. In fact, I believe we have one of the, if not the, largest teacher preparation college in the country. Just in our teachers' college, I think our numbers to date are around 19,000 students. And we see that Teachers College continuing to grow because, in large part, it's due to the quality of the graduates that are coming out. Our students are wonderful, our graduates are wonderful in that they have discovered WGU and WGU Nevada, and they're so excited to tell their colleagues and friends about it. We see a lot of word-of-mouth referrals among our students and among our alumni. That really is a wonderful testament to the quality of our programs and the experiences that our students are having.
And we always need good educators in the state because we're always trying to ramp up the quality of education in Nevada in general.
Right.
And to have WGU Nevada providing quality education for teachers, that can't help but benefit all of us down the road.
And that is our goal, too, really to have a high-quality teacher leading every classroom. And it's been a focal point of mine since assuming this role over the last few years, figuring out how our Teachers College becomes a resource for the K-12 education community here throughout the state.
Spencer Stewart, I know you had taught me in the past that owl's name is Sage.
Yes.
And I said, oh, like a sage, like a wise owl. And that you also think of it as the night owl.
Yes.
And that a lot of the people who study online with WGU Nevada are burning the midnight oil. They're doing the job, handling the family, handling every other responsibility, and still finding time to further their education.
We've tried to make our curriculum such that an individual that has so many life demands, work, family, civic obligations, is able to instantly enter that curriculum for whatever amount of time is available, whether it's a 30-minute break or an hour during the day, or a longer period of time in the evening. To your point, Terry, the night owls, because that's when our students generally have time to study. Sometimes it's after the kids are down, sometimes it's after we've finished work commitments for the day and we've got 2 or 3 hours to dedicate to our program. But we want to make it an experience that really works with that individual, which is why we have, I think, a very smart faculty model. We pair all of our students with a faculty mentor. That individual stays with that student until he or she graduates. They become close colleagues and partners in this learning process. In fact, many graduates at this last commencement were thrilled to see their faculty mentor in person for the first time, because all of this is done for the most part remotely. Our faculty mentors are in constant communication with our students, but they're connecting through technology, either over the phone or through video chats. But to see this happen in person is such a rewarding experience.
To actually see that person that made such a difference for the
Right.
first time. I would imagine lots of smiles and hugs.
Lots of hugs.
Yeah,
Some tears, lots of hugs.
Those faculty mentors have got to be so important, because let's say I'm doing online studies and I just don't think I've got it in me to finish. That faculty monitor guiding me through the process is not going to let me fall through the cracks that easily.
No, finishing can be challenging, and having extra motivation certainly helps. And the faculty are also equipped when a student encounters a challenging concept, pairing that student up with the appropriate subject matter expert, also on our faculty, to help that student truly master the concept. That faculty mentor that is assigned really has many roles, one of which is to serve as that concierge, if you will, making sure the student receives all of the support they need in order to be successful.
So that they really get it and they're able to complete the program and go on to have further success. One of the things about WGU Nevada, a lot of students, of course, need some financial assistance. We need a grant, we need a loan. But I love the fact that your financial counselors also say, look, you may qualify for all of this money, but you don't need it all. So why don't you consider using just what you need so you have less to pay back down the line?
That's right. This is part of our responsible borrowing initiative that was started a few years ago. And WGU, through its advising, has been able to save our students collectively over $300 million by merely presenting their options and helping them think long term. Sometimes that can be a challenge where we're so caught up in the moment and the short term, we don't truly understand the choices that we make have long-term consequences. And one of the bigger long-term consequences of attending college is making sure we leave with manageable debt. And as it relates to WGU, our graduates are leaving with very little debt relative to the national average. In fact, as we look at their return on investment for attending WGU and earning a credential, we find that within 2 to 4 years, our graduates are making more than what they actually spent for their program, for their credential.
Well, I can't imagine that happening with any other college.
Well, what I'm pleased about, Terry, is that this is starting to become more primary within the national conversation, making sure that the credential, the degree, the knowledge and skill set that one takes with them from college is affordable, and that we have not held that graduate hostage for the next 20 or 30 years as they struggle to pay back loans. As a private nonprofit entity, one that's regionally accredited, our students have full access to the full suite of federal financial aid that would be available to any student today attending that type of institution. But we also like to supplement that with competitive scholarships. And one of the scholarships that we're offering right now is our Back to School Scholarship. And we typically do it this time of year because, once again, many of our students have family obligations. They have children, and their children are gearing up to go back to school. And it's an opportunity for adults to think about going back to school as well, where this year, 2018, could be their year where they make the commitment. I think for many individuals lacking that bachelor's degree, or perhaps they have that bachelor's degree, but they know that for career promotion and advancement, they need an additional degree,
right,
or one that is more aligned with their profession right now. These scholarships would help defray some of that cost. Last year across the country, we awarded over $7 million in scholarships, and it really made a difference for those students. Here in Nevada, for this Back to School Scholarship initiative, I think we've earmarked just over $50,000 to help our students, to kind of nudge them, if you will, in the right direction. And that will go a good ways to underwriting their degree, Terry, because the annual tuition and books and all of the fees associated with an annual course of study is just over $6,000. And these scholarships are $2,000, $500 for each term, up to 4 terms. So it does help.
It would make a big impact.
Yeah.
We're talking with Spencer Stewart, the chancellor with WGU Nevada. We had discussed previously that a lot of the students that get involved in this online course of study are people who have gotten partially into school in the past, but have left for whatever reason. I always like to say life got in the way.
Yeah.
And so it's an opportunity for a student who did not complete college previously to do it this way, which fits so much better with their lifestyle.
Yeah, I think nationally there's been a renewed focus on understanding how to help students where life has gotten in the way, because it's a fairly sizable population. I think in this country over the next year, we'll see about 2 million college students face a life experience that forces them to stop out. And when you look at how that number accumulates year over year, it becomes very sizable. And this is one of the primary markets that we serve, individuals that have some college yet no degree. They started this with every intent of earning that credential, and they just haven't accomplished that yet. In fact, the majority of the students that enroll with WGU fit this some college, no degree profile, which is why we've tried to restructure how higher education works. And I know if you talk with our students that this type of learning is very conducive for where they are. And were it not for this new model, they probably would not have been successful in earning this long-sought degree.
Well, I think it gives a whole new dimension to the phrase back to school scholarship.
Yes.
Not just because it's back to school for all the kids and it's that time of the year. It also could very well be back to school for someone who tried it previously but had to stop. And once you leave college and go back to your life, it is so hard to make the commitment to go back and complete what you wanted to accomplish.
Right.
If someone was interested in checking into, for example, back to school scholarship, go to the website. website?
You bet. In fact, we have a wonderful, user-friendly, intuitive website. As you can imagine, with our programs being wholly online, that means we've invested considerable resources into a platform that's easily accessible for our students and prospective students. Our website is nevada.wgu.edu. Learn about our 60-plus degree programs within these 4 academic colleges, our Teachers College, College of IT, College of Health Professions, and our Business College. And then also find all of our financial aid and scholarship opportunities right off the homepage. And if they desire more clarification, they'll be contacted by one of our enrollment counselors.
Spencer Stewart, Chancellor for WGU Nevada. You know I'm going to ask as part of Talking Solutions, what can we do to help you?
Oh, you're too kind, Terry. I know that's a question I always get from you. You're helping us out in such a big way right now, providing a platform to talk about the university and the success of the university and how the university may benefit your listeners. I want to thank you for that. And if we could just continue to be part of your community-wide conversation. I know you're very, very community-minded. Certainly helping us discuss the university and promote the university would be incredibly beneficial.
You know I'm talking about you behind your back all the time. But it's always good because I'm like, you don't know how great WGU Nevada is. It doesn't cost as much. You get your degree sooner. That's how I'm talking about you behind your back.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
The back-to-school scholarship, something definitely to check into. The costs are already low compared to any other school.
They are.
But it can be even better.
Yes.
Especially like for an aspiring teacher.
Right.
Through the scholarship program, up to about a third of the cost for a couple years. So check into it. It is so worth it. Am I forgetting anything?
I think we have done a great job covering everything, Terry. You make it so easy.
You're the one who comes in and gives me all the info. That's how I learn about WGU Nevada. Spencer Stewart, Chancellor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talking Solutions is a production of the Community Relations Department here at Beasley Media Group, Las Vegas. Get more information on today's topic on our Talking Solutions page on Facebook, where you will also find links and a podcast of today's show. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.